Simple Cyber Defense security updates for January 22nd, 2022. Welcome back to Simple Cyber Defense. In this episode, we're going to be talking about browser cookies, where they came from, what they do, what they can do, and how they can be leveraged to attack you. So, I'm Carl.
Hi, this is Ahmad.
And so let's begin with the world of browser cookies. So, do you want to start or?
Yeah, so cookies. We all love them, but we don't know what they are when it comes to what they are online. So cookies, simply stated, they're just small text files, okay, and they're placed on your computer through your browser or your phone, and they're commonly used to collect data. Okay, now that data can be used for different things. Um, the the cookie can gather information about the use of the website, how it's used, the functionality of the website. They also, there's different types of them, right? And the question is, are they good or are they bad, right? And generally, they're used to make your experience when you use the websites faster and more convenient and personalized to you, right? For example, you go to Google and you search something and it asks you what language do you want to use for your search, and then it doesn't ask you that every time. How does it do that? It's because there's a cookie that has been put in your browser, um, specifying the language that you search with, right? So that's in very simple terms. Now, as things evolve in the computer world, so have cookies, right? And now we have multiple types of cookies. Um, and it's something like there's session cookies, there's permanent cookies, there's first party, third party cookies, there's flash cookies, there is even zombie cookies, right?
Even
So all
super
these,
cookies.
huh?
Even super cookies.
Yeah, right. Even super cookies. So those are that's generally what cookies are. So Carl, you want to talk to us a little bit about the different types of cookies and how they're used?
Okay, so you're saying you have like a normal cookie that basically puts in your session, like logs in, and so it knows, okay, this is the identifier user for this website. Um, uh, I don't know if you know this, but the cookies were actually created in 1994 by Netscape to keep people's online shopping carts on the local computer so that the web host wouldn't have to store all that data on their servers. So it was a way to save hosting fees so that they wouldn't have to have such large amount of data for every single person's shopping cart on the server. So so then they so as the internet evolved with logins and all that, that's where we get the cookies to basically be like a fingerprint of who you are, so they can say, okay, when you visit this website, you are, say, Joe Blow. So you're already logged in. You don't have to log in again and again and again. Because you imagine how time consuming it would be if you have to go to every single website every time and then log in over and over again. Even if you, like, say you were on Facebook.com and then you switched from Facebook.com to Google.com, you'd have to log into Google. And then when you go back to Facebook.com, you'd have to log in again because it wouldn't remember who you were without the cookies. So that's where the cookies come into play. It's where it, just like the normal cookie, okay, you are who you are, so even if you leave the website and come back, we still know that you are who you are. Now, the next cookie you were talking about was this
Uh,
zombie.
First party cookies.
First party cookies? Okay. So the first party cookies is basically like Facebook.com. It has their website, and they create a cookie for you, and it has the website facebook.com. That's a first party cookie. So where the next part would be the third party cookie would be like if you go from facebook.com to someone's blog post and they have like a little like button from Facebook on their website. Well, the only way that little button would be able to be functioned is if they use what's called a third party cookie, where that blog's website would have a cookie, but instead of being it from the blog post, it would be from facebook.com, so that they would have all your information in that cookie, so that that blog site could use that cookie to be able to link their blog to your Facebook account. And this is where many problems with the tracking come into play, because now Facebook has a cookie in someone else's website, and then they know that you visited that website. So imagine all the other places out there that have like these Facebook features, either log in using your Facebook account, or hitting the like on Facebook on another website. The way they could do this is through third-party cookies. And with these third-party cookies, not only do the website that you visit know who you are, but also Facebook knows every single website that you go to. And that's a big privacy issue, because now Facebook knows, okay, Carl went to this website A, B, C, and D just because he's logged into Facebook, and now those third-party cookies are out there telling Facebook, hey, Carl's at website A, he needs some information, and off it goes. And so third-party cookies is very, very problematic in tracking. So the next cookie you want to talk about?
Zombie cookies.
Zombie cookies. Ooh. Those are kind of interesting cookies, because I think based upon what the name implies, it's just dormanted until it's viewed.
So what a zombie cookie is, it's a flash cookie. It's a type of a flash cookie, right? But it recreates itself after it's deleted.
Oh, okay. Hence the name zombie.
It's very difficult to manage or detect. They're used mainly in things like online games.
Mm-hmm.
So that you go to like a website like Miniclip or something, and it's kind of like it saves progress, and it also kind of like prevents you from cheating as a player. I mean, if you're pretty tech savvy, it's easy to overcome.
Yeah.
And this type of cookie is mainly used to install like malware on the device.
Okay. And then the next one would be the super cookie. Now the only reason for this cookie to ever exist is basically for tracking purposes. The biggest names that got caught with zombie cookies were Verizon, where they would install these super cookies into their customers' devices and basically track them everywhere on the internet. The special part of this cookie is you basically can't delete it. It's always there. And it just tracks everything that you go to and just gives it back to whoever created the cookie for you. Most of the times it's just companies that just want to track you around the internet, but sometimes it could be used for malicious purposes if an attacker really knows how to craft one and put it on your device and use it to basically track everywhere you go to, so they can have a better idea of how to target their attacks to you, because they're not going to basically send you a phishing link to a website you never visit. So it's basically a way for them to collect information on you, say, okay, this person never uses Facebook, so we're not going to use our Facebook scams, but he goes to UPS a lot, so maybe we can get him with a tracking phishing attempt.
So, for you had for this reason, there are many laws and regulations, right? If you look at here in California or in Europe, you got a GDPR, for example.
Yep.
Look, any laws that have to do with privacy, there are, the touch on cookies. For example, there's a basic rule that says, and you'll see it when you go to any website. You tell people that you're using cookies and what the cookies are being used for. You explain what the cookies are doing and why they're doing it, and you also get the user's consent to store the cookies on their device.
Yep.
Now, that it doesn't say anything about storing cookies on the servers, right?
Nope.
Because the server belongs to the data collector, right? The data belongs to you, but what it goes on their server is they own it. And pretty much what consent, it has to be given freely, right? Specific, on what you can use my information for, and informed. And this puts the burden of teaching you about what your data is being used for on the website builder, right? It can't be ambiguous. It can be like, oh, here, just click on this. No, or check this box. No, you have to actually fully read and understand to give your consent. And it's kind of like, it has to be, like I said, it has to be a clear and positive action, right? Now, with that all said, can we erase cookies, or can we block them completely? Well, yes, we can. The thing is, as far as deleting them, you can usually, if you have a little bit of PC knowledge, you'll go and you'll delete all cookies from your browser, where most of them will go away. But another way is you need to find the folder, where actually those cookies are, and make sure none of them is hidden, and you can delete what's in that folder. Or you can completely block any cookies on your browser from any website to be able to add that information onto your device. Now, there are softwares out there that you can use to block the cookies, but we won't recommend any of these because we don't want to hinder the functionality of your website, of your web experience. But make it a habit to, every week or so, clear your cookies out of, your browser completely, and, start over again, start fresh. Coral will demonstrate this really cool browser extension. It will show you just by visiting one website. We'll start with a clean browser, no cookies installed. We'll visit just a simple website with not many functionalities, and we will see how many cookies are immediately put on your system, and then we will see how you can find any practical use for that extension, which is, did you find cookie editor, Carl?
Yeah, I got it on.
Okay.
So I'm ready to go.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna switch over to my PC right now. So here we are on my computer with a clean web browser with no cookies, no web history, no nothing on there. All right, so where are we gonna go to? Yep. Okay, so we're gonna refresh the page. Still doesn't have any cookies in them. No, because this isn't a web page. This is just the home screen, basically, when you open up the browser. Yeah. There we go. Just go to news. And here we go. Let's delete all or individual. Bye bye, cookies. Here's Facebook. Yeah. And you already have 1, 2, 3, 4 different cookies here waiting for you. Um, mm, I mean, if you're really concerned about cookies tracking you, and you don't want to go through the hassle of the cookie editor, you could also create or download a Firefox browser, and in the settings, it gives you the option to clear every cookie every time you close the browser.
Right.
So you'd have that browser. You would use that just for like random searches for what you want to look for. And then as soon as you close that browser down, all those cookies are deleted so that when you go back to your main browser to do your everyday web history stuff, it doesn't get cross contaminated with each other because those cookies in that Firefox are blown out as soon as you close out that browser. Um, Also, if you're really concerned about online tracking, we did an interview with Avoid the Hack, and we're going to link that interview in the description. So if you're really concerned about those things, you can listen to that and get some good information from that interview. Um, Other than that, I think that's all that comes down to browser cookies. Just
There's one thing I forgot to mention, which
okay,
is session cookies with
yeah,
like important websites.
okay,
So, for example, you log into your bank account or your email or whatever,
hmm,
and after you're done doing your business, most of us would just close the browser without logging out.
yep,
Well, what happens here is when you log in, the web server on your bank side sends a cookie, a session cookie to your computer, even though it's timed. Most of the time, it has a time limit.
hmm,
But when you just close the browser, the server on the other end doesn't know that you closed that session. So it would allow if there is some type of a man in the middle attack or someone can steal the cookie and does what's called a cookie poisoning, you can always take that
yep.
cookie and create another session, right? Because you haven't closed that session. But if you're to
Well, that's,
close it, log out, you close that session, that cookie expires, right? It
yeah.
can't, even if it's manipulated, it doesn't, it won't be helpful. So
Actually,
that's
yeah. Actually,
yeah.
it's not called session poisoning. It's called session hijacking, where they would
Session,
just
yeah,
where they hijack your session.
right.
The best way to avoid that is to use VPN, so that the man in the middle can't be very effective because they won't be able to crack into that VPN connection between you and the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So I think this is a good discussion about cookies, and hopefully everyone has learned a lot. And so, with that said, we're going to end this episode, and we hope that you liked it and enjoyed it. If you have, give it a subscribe, share to others that you think would be helpful knowing about these things, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for listening to the Simple Cyber Defense Security Updates. Join us next time when we dive into more security issues, and make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Plus, if you have a topic suggestion or want to support the podcast, stop by our website at simplecyberdefense.com.